Hello, this is AJ Hogue. Welcome to the vocabulary lesson for Lookout Mountain. In this conversation, Kristen talks to her mother, and her mother, Susan, talks about a family trip they took with Ethan and Kristen's dad. Now, Ethan is Kristen's nephew. Remember, it's the son of Kristen's brother, right? So nephew. So Kristen's mom, Kristen's dad, and Kristen's nephew went on a short family trip to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga is a city. And near Chattanooga, there are some sights, some places to see. One is called Rock City. Another site near Chattanooga is called Lookout Mountain. So Kristen's mom, Kristen's dad, and her nephew Ethan, they all went to these places. And in this conversation, Kristen's mom talks about the trip. All right, let's get started. So in the second sentence, Susan, Kristen's mom, says, "Oh, the trip was great. It was great. It was more fun than a barrel of monkeys." More fun than a barrel of monkeys. Now that's idiom, very kind of old idiom, and it means just a lot of fun. It's kind of a joke. It's kind of now, if we say that, it's a little bit old-fashioned, a little bit kind of from the past. So when you say it's it's kind of said in a joking way. But the meaning is, it was a lot of fun. It was more fun than a barrel of monkeys means it was a lot of fun. It was really fun. Okay, more fun than a barrel of monkeys. Very, very fun. Okay, Kristen laughs, and her mom says, we took Ethan, again, that's Kristen's nephew, and he's 8 years old. And it was fun to watch him, at the different places they went to, and fun to watch him enjoying the activities. They bypassed the aquarium. It means they didn't go to the aquarium. They went past the aquarium, but didn't go in. Because they had already taken him to the Atlanta Aquarium in the past. And Susan says, "We picked and chose and drew straws and decided we would go first to Rock City." Okay, to draw straws. Past is drew straws. It means to choose randomly. To choose randomly. So maybe you have 5 different things to do, and you randomly choose 2, or you randomly choose 1. So that's what to draw straws means, to choose randomly. Okay, it's another idiom. Okay, and there they talk about going to Rock City, and there was a place in Rock City called Fat Man Squeeze. It's a narrow place with 2 rocks, and you have to go in between the 2 rocks, but they're close together. So if you're fat, you cannot go through. So Susan, Kristen's mom, laughs that 10 years ago, she could go through easily, but now she's 64 years old, she's heavier, and it wasn't easy to go through. And then after they went to Rock City, they went to Lookout Mountain, which is a big, big mountain, and they rode an incline railway. Incline, of course, means going up, so it's a railway that went straight up the side of the mountain. And Kristen asked, did he like it? Did Ethan like the mountain? It was overlooking Chattanooga, and she said, oh, he didn't like it as well as Rock City. So he liked Rock City more. He was not as enthused about it, was not as excited about it. But Kristen's dad enjoyed it. After that, they went to eat at a restaurant named Ryan's. Ryan's is the name of the restaurant. And I guess Ethan likes Ryan's. Her little nephew likes Ryan. And she said they didn't go to another restaurant, a place called Dirty Nellie's. So maybe they usually go to Dirty Nellie's restaurant, but it was closed. The reason it was closed is it got busted. Got busted several years ago for selling to minors. To get busted means to get in trouble or to get arrested. It often means to get arrested by the police or to get in trouble with the police. So their favorite restaurant, Dirty Nellie's, it got busted. So the police closed the restaurant. Why did they close the restaurant? They closed the restaurant because it was selling to minors. Selling what? Well, selling alcohol. She doesn't say it, but that's what she means. So the restaurant was selling alcohol to minors. A minor is a person who is younger than 18 years old. I'm sorry, younger than 21 for alcohol. So someone younger than 21 cannot buy alcohol. And if a restaurant sells alcohol to someone who's too young, they can get busted. They can get in trouble with the police. Okay, so they didn't go to Dirty Nellie's restaurant. They went to Ryan's. She asked, did you go to any museums? And Susan says, well, no, they went to a garden on the river, and they did a cruise, and it had beautiful views. There was a good captain who was narrating, who was talking about the city and talking about the views. And then they went back to the hotel, the motel, that night, and they swam. And then she said at the motel, they met a guy from India in the breakfast area, and he was really nice. He was living in Chattanooga. Oh, he was there studying as a student. And getting his eyes full of American culture. Susan says he was getting his eyes full of the American culture. So getting his eyes full of American culture just means he was seeing a lot of American culture. He was really seeing a lot of it. Getting his eyes full. And Kristen says, and then Susan says, he was really funny. He wanted to exchange emails. And then after they met the Indian guy, they went to a children's museum. A hands-on museum. Like an exploratory. Kristen calls it an exploratory. It's a kind of museum for children. It's hands-on. It means the children can touch things. They can play with things. It's not just looking. You can also touch. It's a hands-on museum or children's museum. Sometimes they're called exploratory museums. So it was a children's museum. They had a lot of fun there. And then she said, Kristen says, so it was a really short trip. Susan says, yeah, it was a good trip, just overnight, but long enough. And she said, our tails were starting to drag. Okay, so we were starting to drag, or our tails were starting to drag. Tails here means your butt, right? Your butt was starting to drag. It just means they were getting tired. To drag, or to start to drag, means to start to feel tired, or to start to be tired. So if I can say, I'm starting to drag, it means I'm getting tired. I'm starting to feel tired. Very common phrase. So anytime you begin to feel tired, you can say, I'm starting to drag. Okay, so they were starting to drag. At the end of the trip, Susan and Kristen's dad, they were starting to feel tired. They were starting to drag. Then Kristen asks about the weather, and Susan says it was a beautiful day all summer. It was very nice. It was wonderful. Okay, and then she says, what was the favorite thing you did? So she wants to know, what did Susan enjoy most? And her favorite thing was the cruise on the river. And she said, and then Kristen's dad's favorite thing was the garden or the railway at Rock City. Kristen says, yeah, I remember liking Rock City when I was little. So when Kristen was a child, she also had been to Rock City. She also went to Rock City when she was a child. And then Susan said they had a bird sanctuary, a place where they take birds that have been sick or hurt, and then they help the birds. They help the animals. And Susan says, I'll get on my soapbox for a minute. And she says, I think more places need to do that. More places need to take care of animals. Okay, to get on your soapbox, or I'll get on my soapbox. It means I'm going to give a speech, or I'm going to say something strong. It's an idiom. It comes from the idea of being in public, being around people, and getting a box, standing on top of the box, and then giving a speech. You can imagine in the past, long ago, if you want to give a speech, maybe you stand on top of something. Maybe stand on top of a box, for example. And then everybody can see you. Right? So it comes from this idea of giving a speech. So if you say, I'm going to get on my soapbox now, it means you're going to give a speech. You're going to tell your strong opinion about something. So her strong opinion is more places need to take care of animals. She has a strong opinion. This is a strong idea for Susan. So she says, I'm going to get on my soapbox. I'm going to tell you a strong opinion. And then she says her opinion. And Kristen says, I agree. She agrees that more places need to take care of animals. Susan says it was a great trip. And she says, yeah, I'm glad you guys had a good time. And then they kind of finish the conversation. She says, nice talking to you. I'll give you a call back later in the week. So I'll call you again later. And then Susan says, okay, hope to hear from you soon. Kristen says, all right, tell Dad I said hi. And that's the end. They say, okay, love you, bye. And that is the end of the conversation. So that is the end of the vocabulary for Lookout Mountain.
Hi, this is Kristen Dodds.
And this is Joe Weiss. And we just wanted to let you know that this material has been copyrighted in the year 2008 by Learn Real English, LLC. www.learnrealenglish.com